Quick question. When was the last time you drove somewhere new without using GPS? Be honest. For most of us, the answer is, I can't remember. And here's the part that should stop you cold. If your phone died right now, could you even get home? A lot of us couldn't. We've quietly gone from being the driver to being the passenger in our own car. The same thing is happening with AI and your thinking. And over a lifetime, it may quietly weaken your brain's defenses against decline. Researchers call it deskilling. Over the next 10 minutes, I'll give you a simple 3-part test to know whether AI is making you sharper or stupider, plus a habit I call the 5-minute draft rule that protects your brain every single day. I'm Dr. Zaid Fadul, founder and CEO of Bespoke Concierge MD. AI is a fantastic tool. It boosts productivity, gives you back your time, and improves your quality of life. You just have to use it in a brain-healthy way so it doesn't cost you in the end. Okay, let's dive in. If you've ever felt a little dumber after leaning on AI all day, you are not imagining it. Deskilling is what happens when a tool does a task so well that you slowly lose the ability to do it yourself. It's not new. Calculators, autopilot, and yes, GPS all did this first. But AI is different because for the first time, we're handing over judgment and thinking itself, not just a physical task. Here's the insight that lets you off the hook a little bit. Deskilling doesn't happen because you're lazy. It happens because the tool quietly makes independent thinking feel unnecessary. You don't decide to stop navigating. You just follow the blue line until one day the skill is gone. The fix is simple. Keep a human in command, keep questioning the tool, and keep practicing the core skill on purpose. And the best way to picture that fix is sitting in your car right now. There are 2 ways to use GPS. The first, you turn it on, switch your brain off, and follow the line. You arrive, but you learn nothing, and you couldn't repeat the tip tomorrow. You were a passenger. The second, you glance at the route first. Notice you're heading north past the lake, stay aware of turns, and use a GPS to confirm your thinking, not replace it. Same tool, completely different outcome. You arrive and you know how you got there. You were the driver, not the copilot. At the risk of sounding like my dad, when I was younger, I'd look up an address in a county map, find the zip code, then the street, then figure out every turn myself. To this day, with the right map, I could still get there. Or so I'd like to believe. It's been 30 years. But I still try to understand what the GPS is telling me and check whether it makes sense. So be honest, which driver are you? Drop a 1 or 2 in the comments because that answer matters more than productivity. Here's why. This is where it stops being about work and starts being about the next 30 years of your life. Your brain builds something scientists call cognitive reserve. Think of it like a savings account for your mind. The more you challenge it over a lifetime, the bigger the buffer against decline and the longer you can hold off conditions like dementia. The research is striking. The Lancet Commission found nearly half of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed through lifestyle and lifelong mental engagement. Reading, writing, and games in later life were linked to delaying dementia by up to 5 years, and people who never learned to read or write carried nearly 3 times the risk. Bilingual people delayed Alzheimer's symptoms by an average of 4 to 5 years as well, because constantly switching between languages keeps the brain flexible and builds that cognitive reserve. Here's a thread that ties all this together and the heart of the brain health question. The pillars are simple. Stay mentally challenged, sleep well, move your body, stay socially connected, and manage stress. Notice that reading multiple newspapers, learning a language, doing demanding work, none of it is easy. It all forces the brain to wrestle with something new and a little hard, and that effort is the medicine. It's like lifting weights, no pain, no gain, which leads to an uncomfortable conclusion. A tool that removes all the effort isn't neutral. It can quietly erode the very reserve you're trying to build. But the same tool used right can protect every one of those pillars. It can free up time for sleep, movement, and the people you love. So how do you make AI build your brain health instead of drain it? Mark Cuban put it perfectly. There are 2 types of people that use AI. People who use AI so they don't have to learn anything, and people who use AI so they can learn everything. He warned that if you treat AI like a shortcut, what he called your drunk intern, you'll struggle, but the curious ones who keep learning will always have an edge over everyone else around you. Same tool, which person you become is the whole game. So here's a 5-minute draft rule I live by. Before you ask AI anything, spend 5 minutes taking your own pass first. A rough draft, a guess, a quick list of what you think the answer is, then let AI sharpen it. That one habit keeps you the driver. From there, never just take the output, ask it why, so your understanding grows. Push back and argue with it, because questioning the AI keeps your judgment sharp. And once in a while, do a core task the old way. Write the email, do the math, find the route, as a trip to the gym for your brain. For students, it's the difference between having AI write the essay and learning nothing versus writing the draft first and using AI to critique it, getting both the work and the work out. That same principle, AI that sharpens you instead of replacing you, is exactly how great healthcare should work. And that brings me to the most important point in this video. Let me tell you about a patient. He came in genuinely scared, convinced he had early dementia, forgetful, foggy, exhausted. A chatbot might have confirmed his worst fear. What we actually found was untreated sleep apnea stacked on a medication interaction. We fixed both, and the dementia lifted. That's the difference between information and care. AI is a brilliant copilot for information. Ask a chatbot about brain fog, and it gives you a confident, average answer for an average person. But you're not average. Your cognitive health is tied to your sleep, blood pressure, hormones, hearing, medications, and family history, woven together in a way that takes a real strategy to untangle. The future isn't AI versus your doctor, it's AI and your doctor working together, where the technology handles the information so your physician can focus entirely on you. Here's a 3-part test I promised. 1, are you the driver or the passenger? 2, did you think first then check, the 5-minute draft rule? 3, are you using AI to learn everything or to avoid learning anything? Get those 3 right and you stay in the driver's seat, building reserve instead of losing skills and protecting the brain health pillars that carry you for decades. The people who thrive in this era won't be the ones who use AI the most. They'll be the ones who stay the driver, sharper, more capable, and protecting their minds for the long haul. That's exactly the philosophy behind Bespoke Concierge MD. We integrate thoughtful AI healthcare solutions into every phase of how we care for you, using technology to handle the information so we can give you deep, unhurried human attention. We map your sleep, your brain, your risks, and your whole story to catch what a chatbot never could, like that patient's sleep apnea. We bring the context, the technology, and the relationship no algorithm can replace. If you want a doctor who uses these tools with you, the link to learn about Bespoke Concierge MD is in the description. Follow along for more videos in our AI healthcare series. The video on the right is about AI and your mental health. The playlist on the left covers AI and healthcare in detail. And hit subscribe because I publish evidence-based medical content every week that could change your life. See you in the next video.